Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I am about to get started on my wedding album. I'm super excited. All right, so if you have not heard what I'm doing as far as this album goes yet, I am completely redoing my entire wedding album. I do have a full 12 by 12 album that is complete of my wedding day, but I kind of hate it. So, okay, hate's a strong word. I don't love it. How about that? I don't love it. It's very plain, it's very basic, and it really doesn't remind me of the day as I'm looking through it. So I have decided to go through each page and redo it completely into the style that I have now. This album was completed when I had first started scrapbooking back in 2003. I think I completed it in either 2003 or 2004, something like that. But very, very early on when I first started. So this is my introduction page. This is going to be the first page that I am redoing here. And I pulled it out of my album. As you can see, it's very basic. It's just a picture, one little embellishment, our names and the date, and then a ribbon and a button, and that's it. And this paper back here is embossed, as you can see, or debossed. Is that embossed or debossed? I can't tell. But it's a raised pattern on here. And check this out, guys. So I took this out of the album and look. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, super secure, Sarah. Great job. So, as you can tell, I was not very, this stuff is not on here. This has been on here for a very long time, as you can tell. And then I realized I was using square dots, just these little sticky square dots for my adhesive, and that's it. So, this is going to come apart real nicely. I don't have to really do anything. I'm just going to do it right here. So yeah, just square dots, and that's all I was using. This was either before adhesive runners started or before I discovered them. I don't know when they started coming out with adhesive runners or not, or whatever, but yeah, and then this comes right off. This is just taped here. I do like this paper, so I will use part of this paper. I'm not going to use the whole thing as a 12 by 12, but I will cut it down and use part of it. This is actually, I still have the thing on here. It's from Provo Craft. Oh, yeah, Sarah. Okay, so I'm just going to take off this ribbon. This is taped with Scotch tape. Please don't cringe. I know, I didn't know any better. Okay, so this will be, like I said, the first introduction kind of page to my wedding album. And I am excited to get started. Okay, I don't like either of these, so I'm just going to toss this. I don't like that. And yeah, so I pulled some stuff to use here. I'm going to keep this picture as is. This is a very fingerprinty. It looks like there's fingerprints all over this thing. A 5x7 of my husband and I, like a formal right in front of the altar type thing. So I'm just going to cut down the mat a little bit more, and I will toss these bells here. I don't love those either. And I'll definitely keep this right here though, this little thing that's printed with Josh and Sarah, December 28th, 2002. And it's in purple, so that's cool. And yeah, so this is going to be my starting point. I pulled a few things here that I think I'm going to want to use, and let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is pick a new background, and I'm going to pick one out of this paper pad. This is from Die Cuts with a View. It's called a latte stack, and it has like some, purples and browns and greens and blues. Very subtle. This is like a very subtle purple wood grain pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and use that since the colors of our wedding were kind of purple and white. So I'm cutting down my mat a little bit around on my picture. I'm just cutting it down so it's not quite so wide. And I am going to keep, just a very small sliver of that purple mat there. I'm looking through this stack here too. This is a foil stack from the Paper Studio, but I don't end up using that. It was just going to be a little bit too much. So I am going to put this down here, figure out how big I want that white embossed piece of paper and cut it down. Again, that's from Provo Craft. Very, very old. Now I have this piece of vellum. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of vellum that is embossed with gold, and it has hearts, and it says J and S inside the bigger hearts there. My friend Jamie stamped and embossed that for me, and it was super sweet. So I'm going to use that as a whole sheet here to kind of be part of the background as well. And I'm using these alphabets from Felicity Jane. These are like a wood alphabet, and then the bottom parts of all the letters are painted in a white. Is it white or cream? Something like that. I think it might be cream. And then I'm going to use these foam thickers here. I want to say these are from a Dear Lizzy collection. Yeah, Dear Lizzy. And I'm going to use the word story. So my title is going to be Wedding Story. That's going to be kind of how I introduce my album here. And I'm going to use that little piece of paper there that I had already had printed as well. I'm trying to decide how, if I want the word wedding to overlap the picture at all. It's looking like it might have to as of right now, just because of how big the words are and, how big I cut that white piece of paper. I wish I'd cut it a little bit longer, but it's okay. I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I'm using a lot of adhesive because I am putting this picture on top of a very, very detailed paper. So I just want to make sure it's going to stick. It's got to, that adhesive needs to get into the grooves of that pattern there. All right, so I'm going to put that down, and then I'm going to put adhesive only on the parts where it's going to be covered up on that vellum so that I don't see any coming through. So I like the way that that is looking. And then I'm going to use some distress ink here, and I'm using Shaded Lilac. Is it Shaded Lilac? Something like that. A lilac color from Tim Holtz. It's a distress ink. And I just went ahead and inked the outsides of that little word part there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the word wedding down. I am using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive. These are very sticky on the back, but since I'm putting it on that very textured paper, I just want to make sure they're not going to move. So I did go ahead and just add a little bit extra adhesive on the back just in case. And then I put that little gold You and Me circle up there. That is from crepe paper. That's from a crepe paper chipboard sheet, and it's kind of love themed, so I'm going to try to use up a whole bunch of those throughout my album here. And then I have these little wood veneer people, and I'm going to put them along the bottom right there next to the word story, or next to the Y there. So I'm going to do that. I think those are from Studio Calico. I've had those for a long time as well. And I'm going to pull some more hearts. These are two-toned hearts. They're pink and gold. And there's 3 different tones of pink. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these all along my layout here in 3 different places. And then I'm going to use this gold arrow that has a heart in the center as well. All of these are from that crepe paper chipboard sheet. And I'm going to fiddle around and try to figure out where I want that. I'm going to try a few different places. I just don't want, like, too many hearts going on. I don't need, that many. Obviously, we're getting married. We're in love. So I didn't want to go overboard on it. But I'm going to go ahead and stick that there. And that's kind of pointing towards the people and also pointing towards, the beginning of the album. And then I have a few options here for just little extra embellishments. I have, some stars. I have some sequins. I'm going to go ahead and use enamel dots right now. And I have these purple enamel dots, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these in 4 different little areas on the layout. And that is going to end up finishing off my layout, but I will come back here in just a second and I will talk to you live again and kind of show you a couple little close-ups here as I talk about it. All right, guys, so I am done with this layout. I love this so much more. All right, so the big thing that I have on here is I have this stamped embossed vellum that my friend Jamie sent to me, and it has hearts and it has J and S in there. So she actually stamped this and embossed it for me, which was super awesome. So I wanted to make sure that was prevalent on here, and I didn't want to cover much of it up. So I only really covered enough, to make sure I had a mat for my photo and do a little bit like my title and all that stuff over here. Obviously, I don't need any journaling because it's my intro page to our wedding album, so I just have, wedding story here and the original little printed here that has our names and the date on it. But yeah, I really like this a whole lot better. So I'm really happy with this outcome. All right, so that is the first layout in my wedding album redo. So I will be back next week with another one. And I'm going to be getting into some of my kind of like you know, getting engaged and our engagement pictures and all that kind of stuff as well. Those I'm not going to do a whole lot to. I will redo them, but yeah, you'll see why. There's a lot of journaling in there that's very important. So that's definitely stuff I'm going to need to hang on to and keep. So I'll be working around some of that. So I think those kind of layouts aren't going to be super intensive as far as redoing completely like I did here. But yeah, I'm excited to continue on with this project. All right, let me know what you think, and let me know down below if you guys have ever redone any of your albums or anything like that, or if there's anything you're considering redoing, you know, let me know that too. Maybe I can help encourage you, because even this first one, I'm so happy that I just did this. All right, that's going to be it for today. I will see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.